Okay, we're going to take a look at quadratics 2. So for quadratics 2, what we're doing is same thing as the last one, but instead of just getting factors of the last number, we now have to get factors of the last and the first multiplied. So anytime there's a number in front, this slightly changes. So now I'm not getting factors of minus 8, I'm getting factors of minus 3 times 8, and that's minus 24. Now there's loads of factors of minus 24, so we're going to write all of them out before we pick it. So I could have had 1 and minus 24, or I could have had minus 1 and 24. I could have had 2 and minus 12, or I could have had minus 2 and positive 12. I could have had 3 and minus 8, minus 3 and 8. I could have had 4 and minus 6, or minus 4 and 6. Now there's loads of those different factors. You don't always need to write out all those factors. If you can spot whatever it is first, then you don't need to do all that. But be careful, make sure that one of these is a minus, because it's a minus 24 that we're looking for. So if I look here, the first set doesn't work, second doesn't, third, that's close, but it's a minus 10. I want a plus 10. So I know it's going to have to be this one, because one of them has to be plus and one of them has to be minus. Now I know that 6 and 4 add to give me 10 as well, but one of them has to be plus, one of them has to be minus. So we're either going to get a minus 2 from that one or a plus 2 from this one, so they won't work. So I have to go with the minus 2 and the 12. So when I go to write this in, then I'm going to have my 3x squared. I'm going to change my plus 10x to be plus 12x and minus 2x, and I keep my minus 8 as it is. And then we're back to doing what we were doing the last day. So we're going to take out what's coming from the first two. 3 divides into both of those, and there's an x in both, so I take out 3x. I'm left with x on its own then, and I'm left with plus 4. I'm going to take that x plus 4 and I'm going to write it over here, because I know the brackets must be the same. And I'm going to check and see, how did my minus 2x become a plus x? I must have taken out the minus and I must have taken out the 2. So my last line there is going to be 3x minus 2 and x plus 4. Okay, let's take a look at a second example then. And our second example here, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to get not just factors of 6, we're going to get factors of 5 times 6, 5 times minus 6, so I'm getting factors of minus 30. Now again, you don't need to write all these out. I'm looking for ones that will add to give me a minus 7. So if I look at 1 and 30, I know one of them has to be a minus. I could have had minus 1 and 30 or 1 and minus 30. 2 and 15, again, one of them needed to be a minus. It could have been the 2 or it could have been the 15. 3 and 10, and I know one of them had to be a minus. And if I look there, I can see that if I had minus 3 and 10, I get a positive 7. I don't want a positive 7, but I want a minus 7. So I know if I swap the minus to the other side, that's the one I'm going to pick. And again, you don't need to write all these out, but make sure that you have one sign as minus and one sign as plus for these type, as long as you are getting a negative 30 there at the top. So we're going to rewrite out our sum again, and we have 5x squared stays the same. I am changing my minus 7x to be a plus 3x and a minus 10x, and I keep my minus 6 as it is. I'm going to take out what's coming from the first two. X is going to come out. Number doesn't divide into both, so I keep it as a 5x and I keep it as a plus 3. I'm going to take that 5x plus 3 over to this side over here, because I know those brackets must be the same. And I'm going to ask myself, how did I get that minus 10 to become that 5x? So what I did was, I took out a minus, I divided it by 2, so I took out a 2, and that's what I did. I left the x with it. My last line then is going to be x minus 2 and 5x plus 3. Okay, so those are those types, the ones with the numbers in front. The questions that you are now going to do are on page 52, and we are going to do question 1, and we're going to keep going with those ones. Once you have them completed, then you can move on to the next